My favorite affirmation that I've been telling myself this year is that I am a light. I'm a light to be around, and I am filled with light. And I have to keep telling myself that because the past version of myself, I thought that was a threat. I thought that I had to hide my light. And it was that same night that I realized that I always knew this was a problem. Like, I spoke about this before. Yeah. But you did this thing where it was 2 candles that you were burning. And then there was 1 candle under the table. And then there was 1 candle on the chair, right?
Yeah.
And then what did you say again? You were like...
I said, which one do you think is seen?
Right. She was like, which one is, like, more noticeable? And I'm like, the one on the chair, obviously. And then she said, like, regardless, both lights are going to be burning. But no matter...
What useful is going to be the one under the table that's not seen. I'm used to this mating call now, so...
It's not a mating call, it's a greeting call.
Okay, yes, a greeting call. I'm used to the greeting call now.
Welcome.
Welcome.
To Mind Over Matter, baby. I'm your host, DEJA Wallace, and as you can see, I have a returning guest. If you've seen the last episode, you already know how it goes. Miss lovely Kirstie Johnson.
Thank you.
From Let There Be Light podcast.
Oh, thank you, DEJA. Thanks for that intro.
Yeah. I'm excited for this episode. We had a lot of technical difficulties the last episode, but we were still talking some things that I think will resonate with the people.
I definitely think so too. And like we both said, some things happen and you just got to keep rolling with the punches.
And you got to keep rolling, okay?
Yeah, you can't stop, can't give up, can't back down.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, we're going to get into all of that in this episode. So just grab a snack, kick back, relax, and get ready for this episode. Episode 82 of Mind Over Matter, baby. We are going to be talking about things not going as planned.
Oh, that's a really good one. Seeing what happened. But
exactly.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
And just like chasing perfection.
Oh, that's amazing because you're talking to someone that has had to break that perfectionist mentality out, you know?
Yeah. And just to give people a little background knowledge of like how we had to struggle to get this podcast exactly how we both envisioned it, you know?
Yeah.
Last episode, we were recording it. We thought everything was good. We home. We skipping home. We like, oh, it's so fire. We got this good content on the beach, you know, Cayman Islands. It's a vibe. Next thing you know, half our video is gone.
I know. I think that was it. Like, basically, the camera started to cut out.
Yeah.
And that was a fire podcast. Yeah, that was a fire episode. So.
You know what's funny? I feel like most of the time when you record, like when you're not recording, that's when the like craziest things happen. Like for me, you know what I mean? Like most of the time when I don't have my phone to record, that's when the craziest things happen. You know what I mean?
You mean like moments that you wanted to capture, but like something awesome happens and it happens when it's not on camera?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's the story of my life. For real.
Goodness.
Yeah. But how do you deal with like things not going as planned? How do you like recalibrate and like still keep that same enthusiasm as the first time? Because the first time I was recording, I feel like, you know, I had this high energy. Like I cannot remake that episode. You know what I mean? So how do you keep that strong faith and like that energy
How do I keep that strong faith and energy
when things don't go as planned?
I would say I've had so much things in my life that did not go the way I planned it, that eventually over time you build up this resilience where you just push through. And I'm someone which you've always heard me say, if not. And sometimes I say that if not is because I have plan B already put in place. Like,
I don't
if something
like that.
didn't work.
I know that
people don't like that. I know people say that. But like plan A, I'm going to execute plan A the best that I can. But I'm also someone that weighs the possibility of, okay, if this does not go the way that I planned, and if I'm just so hell-bent on plan A, and if it doesn't go the way that I planned, there's always some form of backup, or I rest in the fact that, okay, I can come and try this again.
You see, me, I always have a plan A and that's it.
Okay.
Because I feel like the if is opening up an opportunity for other possibilities.
Oh, wow. I never
and it
thought
can
of it
limit
like that.
you to settle for plan B because plan A is always going to be harder.
Wow.
So I always say like plan A is my plan, period, you know? Because I have so much faith it's going to work. I don't need a backup. I don't know. Some people may think that's kind of delusional, you know?
I wouldn't say it's delusional. I think it's the way that you look at things, and it's your like precision for stuff where you feel like that's it. Like if it isn't that, I think for me, I faced like so many disappointments and so many other stuff has happened that I've had to learn how to roll with the punches and say, okay, if this doesn't work, and it doesn't mean that I don't give plan A my all. It just myself preparing in the back of my mind that like, okay, I have another thing lined up if that doesn't work. Like, for example, I was telling you that like I'm going by fate to start this bookstore cafe. Mm-hmm. And for myself, I've started to put out everything that I would like to do for it. And in the back of my mind, I know I still have bills and other stuff lined up. So if that doesn't come true for me, I know that, okay, I'll just be back in the workforce for a bit. But I am still giving my all to plan A.
But you're saying, I feel like when you say if, you're just opening up your imagination to that possibility.
When you say opening up, okay, I see what you're saying. So you're saying that by me saying if, I'm already setting myself up for failure? In that instance?
And not absolute failure.
Okay.
But I feel like the probability is going to be higher of failure coming and you just going to the plan B.
I see what you're saying. It's almost like a crutch.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I get it.
Exactly.
I get it. I think it's more than likely it's something that's ingrained.
Yeah, it is.
At this point, it's probably a programming that's ingrained where I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm so used to things maybe not going the way that I would like them to go. So I kind of roll with the punches and be like, okay, if it's not going to work, this is going to work. That's going to work. But it's making sense now that you look at it and now that you say it that way. Because a lot of people have been saying to me, Kirstie, if you're going to be walking by faith and not by sight, that's what it is. Like,
exactly.
That's what it is. And that's what someone shared with me, like when I told them, like I started to get, I think what it is too is cold feet.
Yeah. You
start to get cold feet because it's like, oh my gosh, this is something that I really want. This is something that I'm really focusing on. Mm-hmm. And the possibility of it not working out kind of like irks me. Mm-hmm. So let's just say that part then is a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Yeah, a perfectionist is someone that would probably try to make another plan if plan A doesn't work. It's just because maybe I feel like I don't want to be left like devastated.
And the thing with perfectionists, I feel like it also opens the door to procrastination.
Wow.
Because like this last episode, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to the things I care about. Not in every aspect of life, but the things I care about. Like the podcast, you know. Yeah. When I lost the last episode footage, I was telling you, I don't want to post it anymore. Like, it's over. Like, it's just going to be, this gem is going to be lost in time, and only we are going to get to enjoy it. And you talked me out of that like perfection mindset,
Yes.
and you were like, no, Deja, it's here, you have it, you know? And I had to stick with that plan A.
Wow.
I had to stick with that plan A. And I think that sometimes if I did try to get that one video exactly how I envisioned it, it would have just made me not even want to do it anymore. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's so true. I really think that that's what would have happened, because we emphasized on something going exactly the way we want it, that we're willing to toss away it if it's not exactly the way we want. And that just really opened up a lot for me. Because it does, when you mention procrastination, that's so true. Because if you look at it, right, if it doesn't go the way you want, you're like, okay, whatever, bye.
Yeah.
You know, rather than we pushed it out.
And you dwell on it.
Yeah, you dwell on it. We pushed it out and we say, no, we're going to come back out here again and we're going to do 82. We didn't come back out here and say we're going to redo 81. You know, we're like, no, we're going to do 82.
Yeah, because that is done already. And you did record your first podcast episode yesterday.
Yes, I did.
On last episode, y'all watched Kirstie. She was not officially a podcaster yet, but now she lost her virginity. She started she started it finally.
Yes.
And how did that feel for you? Talking on the topic of perfection, how did that recording that first podcast episode of yours feel for you?
I think this aligned so perfectly because, as you can tell, Deja was my lovely person asking me the questions in there and kind of warming me up, guiding me through it. And perfectionist came out because there were times when Deja was telling me, listen, you need to loosen up. You're sounding very preachy right now. You're sounding politically correct. You're not sounding yourself. You know, she did a little prayer with me. And then afterwards, I was able to talk like myself. I was able to talk and relax. And I just made the room comfortable, got myself my little blankie, sat up in the corner, sat comfortably. So I would say it was a great experience. And after that first one, you just want to go again, right? I think what initially happened was my nerves was there. And I started to think about like, oh my goodness, this is my first episode. This is what people are going to first see. It has to be amazing or else they're never going to listen to me. And I had to get out of all of that. So I was grateful that you were there to talk me out of that. And like you kept saying, come out of your head, come out of your head. Because I was legit in my head for like the first 20, 30 minutes. She was like a deer
in headlights when that camera turned on. And she's a very talkative person. So I'm like, wait, this the same girl? She was like, welcome to let there be light. Wait, no. I'm like, girl, just...
Deja was literally like those directors that are like, listen, if you don't get it together, I'm throwing you off my set. And I needed that. I needed someone to like kick me in my butt in a way and to be like, listen, this is not you. Come out of your head.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
And also let the people know how much hard work this actually is for real. You just see us here post a little 60-second clip and you think, oh, you guys just chatting. No, this is a lot of hard work. Like, let the people really know how much hard work it is to really start a podcast.
Girl, I am going to let them know for sure. I think one of the things that you underestimate is the equipment, the amount of equipment that you're going to need, the amount of time that you're going to need. And if you think about it, time is essential. Time is important, right? Because you don't get that back. And I think one of the things that I saw is like the setting up. You see us here sitting down, looking great, looking happy.
Like we chilling.
We look like we chilling.
Got our little drinky drink.
Like, got our little drinks, got everything. Like, we had to go and dig out rocks, like, to hold the stand together. We had to, like, improvise. We had to tape
the selfie stick to the phone with the ring light. Like, it's a lot going on behind the scenes. It's a lot
going on behind the scenes. And it's like, you have to think quick. Yeah. And if you're one of those persons that get easily frustrated, you're going to give up. Like, you know, you have to be somebody that's like, no, I'm going to push through no matter what. I'm going to get this thing done. And it's like so much stuff is going to pop up in your way. It is not as easy as it looks. So I just want to shout out Deja. I want to shout out everybody that does podcasting, everybody that's been like, you know, doing this for a while now, content creation, because it looks so beautiful when it's out there on Instagram, but you don't know if that could be like the 100 retake or however much retakes that they've had to do. And if you lose footage, like what we started to say, like that was very, like, I felt sad, but because I know it's DEJA's, like I had to like encourage her and say, no, like let's push through. Because if I gave into like how you were feeling, the two of us would have just been sitting there like, we lost episode 81.
Yeah, and that's why I say perfection kind of opens your appetite for procrastination. Because if she fed into my, oh my God, it has to be right, oh my God, I don't have the footage, oh my God, we would have still just been there dwelling on it today and woke up like, damn, we really lost that, you know?
Yeah.
And another thing that I learned is work with what you have.
That is it.
Work with what you have. I came here, I left my laptop charger, I can't edit, a bunch of just extra stuff trying to throw me off of getting this podcast out there. And I just realized I have to work with what I have. I don't have my laptop charger. She has a laptop. I don't have Premiere Pro, but she has a editing program, you know? We didn't know how to work them almost $1,000 cameras. We got an iPhone though.
Yeah.
Work with what you have.
Work with what you have.
Work with what you have.
That is absolutely huge, DEJA, because you're going to go out there, and I think I've seen so many videos that other YouTubers post about do's and don'ts for podcasts. Watch them, because they're serious. Like when they start to say to you things like, don't go and purchase all these expensive stuff. Don't go and overkill yourself. And that is very true, because when you purchase those things, remember, you're not a professional, right?
Exactly.
So you're not going to know how to operate that. Like me and DEJA was scratching our head with how to get the camera to video past 12 minutes. Whereas now we're using an iPhone, and it's like, okay.
And we know how to use it.
And we know
how to use it. And it
how
looks
to
better than the
use
camera, because we did not know how to use the camera.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but that goes back to perfection is going to breed procrastination, because
it does.
A lot of people don't want to go out on their, you know, that journey of creation, being a creative, because they want to have everything right from the jump. But you can't have everything perfect
you
from the beginning.
You never will.
It's never going to happen. Like, that's really what it is.
And just to add to that, right, that is one of the reasons, and you guys will hear from, obviously, episode 81 that I share, like, the things that kind of held me back from starting my podcast, even when I've had, like, the equipment and other stuff for, like, about a year ago. It is that same thing. Like, I was like, oh, my gosh, I want it to look like this. Comparison is a killer of joy.
Yeah.
Right? So you're looking at other people's podcasts out there. You're looking at all these other stuff. You need to have tunnel vision when you're starting your own. And you need to say to yourself, look, it does not have to be the way, like, I wanted a perfect set. I went out and got, like, LED lights, all of this stuff. And then when I sat in front of that camera, I froze up, because I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is really happening.
Yeah.
Versus, like, here on the beach.
Oh my God, the camera puts on extra pounds. Oh my God, my hair. Yeah. Oh my God, the lighting. And it's
Diva.
Like, yeah. And it's like, when it's time to execute, everything else is just extra.
It is. It's secondary.
They're not coming for how much you paid on your camera. That's not why they're listening to the podcast. They're listening to the podcast for you.
Exactly.
Who you are as a person.
The message that you're sending out there.
The message that you're sending out there. And with your podcast now, I love the message you're sending out. Let there be light.
Thank you.
And it's like a powerful moment on this trip that I had, when it was the first night. We were playing dominoes and everything, and then we had that talk, and you were talking about just that when you are a person who's filled with light and recognize their light, it's kind of lonely in a world that's filled with darkness.
Oh yeah.
But when you have faith and you continue down that path, you'll meet other people who are light warriors as yourself.
Yeah.
And do you consider yourself a light warrior?
I definitely do. And, obviously, Jesus says that we are the salt and light of the earth. And I think that is one of the things. And when he says the salt and light of the earth, salt gives something flavor, right? And that's the reference to that there. We give something flavor, as in we bring something different, right? We make something more tasteful, right? It gives you the taste of life, the true taste of life. And when it talks about light, if you go anywhere that's dark, you can't see, right? But where there is light, you start to see. You have visions, you have dreams. You start to see something totally different. So I would say I do consider myself a light child, and child of the light, someone that God uses to shine his light through me so that I can share a message with others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's just such a beautiful time for us light warriors to be alive.
Amen.
Even though there may be certain instances that try to make it seem like you are alone, you're not alone.
You're never alone.
Good people are there.
They are.
Genuine people are there. You just have to open your eyes and recognize.
Yeah, open your eyes and recognize it.
Yeah, because then they will multiply. But if you pay attention too much to the dark,
oh yeah,
that's gonna multiply.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah. So just protect your energy, protect your peace, protect your light, and shine bright like a diamond.
Definitely.
Shine bright like a diamond.
You know, there's a verse that says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." And that verse literally speaks about your talents, your gifts, everything that God has given you to be able to go out there and do what you have to do. Even this right here, Deja, what you're doing, you're on to episode 82. That is you allowing your light to shine in this world, to make a difference, to make an impact. And once people see that, they're like, oh my goodness, what is it with this girl? Like, she has a gift, she has a talent, she has a light. And that's it right there. And with that light, other lights start to turn on. Other things start to click.
And this is like my favorite affirmation that I've been telling myself this year, is that I am a light. I'm a light to be around, and I am filled with light. And I have to keep telling myself that, because the past version of myself, I thought that was a threat. I thought that I had to hide my light. And it was that same night that I realized that I always knew this was a problem. Like, I spoke about this before. But you did this thing where it was 2 candles that you were burning, and then there was 1 candle under the table, and then there was 1 candle on the chair, right?
Yeah.
And then what did you say again? You were like,
I said, which one do you think is seen?
Right. She was like, which one is like more noticeable? And I'm like, the one on the chair, obviously. And then she said, like, regardless, both lights are going to be burning, but no matter
what useful is gonna be the one under the table that's not seen.
Yeah, that's what she said. That.
Yeah. How will that light under the table impact those out there? You're just gonna be hidden, right? Versus the light that was on the chair. That one is seen. Everyone is seeing that.
You could feel the warmth.
You could feel the warmth.
Yeah.
You can feel the warmth.
Yeah. Because regardless if you try to hide your light or not, it's still going to shine. And hiding it is only going to hinder you.
It's going to affect you too.
Yeah, it's
mentally.
going to block you.
You're going to feel trapped.
You're going to feel trapped. And you're going to feel like an imposter sometimes.
That's it. Imposter syndrome is very big. Imposter syndrome is very big. And I think getting over imposter syndrome is in the doing.
Okay. Explain that more. Like, how can somebody get over imposter syndrome?
So getting over imposter syndrome, just for like a reference for myself, it's through affirmations and getting out there in the doing. So every time, remember, there's like this negative voice, right? Inside of your head that's telling you you can't. And I think for me, I filled myself with the Word of God, and I chose to look at myself through the lens of Christ, look at myself through what He says, what His Word says about me and who I am, rather than that negative voice. So the Bible talks about pulling down thoughts and taking them captive. So if there's a thought that pops up in my head that goes like contradicts what God says I am, or that contradicts who I know that I am, I pull those down and I replace them with something positive. I replace them with a truth because what's popping up in my head, that's a lie. That's not the truth. So, and also in the doing. So, for example, I was given like a position, a higher position, and I started to get cold feet. I started to feel like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. And my manager looked at me and she said, you're having imposter syndrome. And she was like, it's going to pass. And how it's going to pass is in the doing. You
the work.
Yeah, in the work. Once you start to put in the work and once you start to do it. And she was like, get rid of that perfection mentality because you're going to mess up and that is okay. When you mess up, you just confess it and we fix it. We roll with it and we get it done. Because like you said, it causes procrastination. You'll stay stuck. I could have stayed completely stuck. But I was like, no, I can roll with it. I can push it. When I made mistakes, I fix them and we keep it going.
Affirmations is a big part too, because even if you're doing the work and you're seeing the results of the work, you could still feel like an imposter.
It's true. It's true. People right now that have been doing things for years.
Yeah.
Celebrities, other people.
Yeah, they still feel like they could do more and then what they did is not good enough, you know? And that's just like, that's that negative talk.
Yep, that negative self-talk.
Yeah. It's just, like I said, the programming already is like really, you have to really just convince yourself so much that you feel it, you know, that you're worthy. Amen. Can I get it? Amen.
Yeah, girl, that's it. Listen, on this trip, DEJA has just been glowing, growing, and her spiritual journey has just been inspiring me. You know, so no, it definitely has, because it's like you're taking it in, you're not rejecting it. You know, obviously I haven't been like preaching, but I've just been sharing some truth, some things that I've been through, and I've just watched you become even more enlightened. And
yeah, I'm not going back to New York the same.
Oh, definitely.
Honestly, like
I'm excited for
like,
when you go back.
Yeah, me too.
It's gonna be a light in Brooklyn, shining bright.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Yeah.
Shine bright like a diamond.
That's their theme song.
Shine bright like a diamond. Ah. Yeah. What else? Let's also talk about change, okay? Because we did touch on that a little before, and we are talking about planning and plans not going as, you know, you expected it. And a big thing that I realized in this thing called life is that I hate planning. And I understand now why I hate planning. It's because I feel like life is about improvisation. Improv. Like,
oh, you mean like impromptu?
Yeah, like improv.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I feel like most of the things you plan and most of the things you schedule, it's never going to be as you imagined it. You know what I mean? It's very rare that things go as you imagined it. Like,
it's true. It's very rare.
And even think like a to-do list, right? How many things on a to-do list that you write down that... All right, how do I put this? Sometimes you don't even write things down on the to-do list, but you get it done. You know what I mean? Because in the moment, it doesn't require you to get that done. You needed something else to be done. You know what I mean? Am I losing you?
No. You're not losing me, because I think that is the way how your brain works and how you work.
Okay.
I'm a bit ADHD, so I need lists and I need to plan, because otherwise, like, I'll forget, or it'll go all over the place. So I live by lists.
Okay.
So like, and that's okay, because we're allowed to be different.
Yeah.
And for myself, I have to list out the things that I have to do, or else it won't get done.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's why, like, with the podcasting stuff and all that stuff, like, I can show you back when we get home in my journal. Like, I have a note that says this, and I crossed off on each one, because that's just the way that it's more so of an organization.
Yeah.
So I have to organize my brain, whereas I think for yourself, your brain is already like somewhere where you can store that information, and you just start to, you have a list, you know, but your list is up here.
Yeah.
Your list is up here, so you can just tick through in your brain, boom, done.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, my brain doesn't work like that. Like I have 5 million tabs open, so I have to get it out on paper and then cross off.
Yeah. For me, it's like, okay, say I have like record a podcast episode on my list, right? But the weather, it's raining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So instead of recording, I would have to edit an old episode instead. You know what I mean? So sometimes I'm just saying, like, in life, change is always prevalent. So sometimes you can't be too attached to the to-do list. Because I feel like most of the extraordinary things that happen in my life personally, I didn't even write it down. It just happened.
Yeah.
So that's really how I look at it.
Yeah.
Interesting, thought.
No. It's always interesting because I think that's definitely, like I said, like that's how your brain works, and that's how you've been able to like organize and get yourself to the way, to where you are today.
Yeah.
And I think too, what that does is that releases control.
Yeah.
Right. There's a more. I think I have to work on that. So you sharing that inspired me, because when I release control, I'll stop being so rigid to that one thing.
And that's why I'm so anxious when I do plan. When I plan, I feel so anxious. I'm like, all right, this has to go as planned. This has to go as planned.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, this has to go as planned. If it don't go as planned, oh, my God, I'm going to break. And I'm going to,
Oh, I saw that yesterday, that when things don't go as planned, it's a total different DEJA. So I'm just like, leave her. She just going with the wind, and she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has it all up here.
Right.
And that's the good part.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, I got a list of stuff, and it got to go according to this, or else I'm thrown off.
Facts.
Yeah.
You don't think that's perfectionism? Is that a part of perfectionism in a way?
I think it's a part of perfectionism, but also too, like I'm being dead serious when I say the whole ADHD thing. Like that's like I know it's a label, right? But it's like, okay, my brain legit has 5 million things going on. Like I'm here at the beach right now, right? And like there's 2 people over there, and I'm fighting to like pay attention to what we're talking about, because I'm like, ooh. It's have you ever seen like Finding Nemo and Dory? Mm-hmm. And it's like Nemo has to keep telling her, look over here, or the dad, the dad has to keep telling her like, yo, Dory, like stay on point. So I think it's a tool that I've used, but it can be perfectionist as well.
Yeah.
For those that maybe not struggle with that same thing.
Yeah.
If they
it's a good tool. I'm not gonna just say, if you plan, you stupid. I'm not gonna say that, but I'm saying like, if you don't plan, it's okay too. I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah. I find my planning to be more of like, for me, it's more wise for me to plan with the way that I operate, the way that I get things done. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, I'm a planner. So once it's planned something, I literally have written down plan B already. But you're absolutely right. And I think from this episode, I will gather that, because I watch Rob Dial. He's also another awesome podcaster. Mm-hmm. And he speaks about that. He speaks about sticking to plan A. He speaks about that. And he was like, for those of you out there that's always writing plan B, you're never really going to get plan A done, because you've been setting yourself up.
Yeah, you set yourself up to fail.
Yeah, so this brought that out. So this is good. This is bringing out some stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, DEJA.
Yeah. I think, too, in the culture where it's like, it's ingrained in us to try to be, perfect. From social media to in school, getting the letter grades, trying to be perfect for your parents, your spouse. And it's really, really unrealistic, because like I said, people are always changing, transforming, they're always evolving. Wow. So perfection is just something you're always going to be chasing if you're looking for it. And shout out to Wolf. He's another podcaster from Halfway Up, and his favorite thing to say is done is better than perfect.
Wow.
Sometimes you just got to complete the task and foresee it.
That's big. That's big. Done is better than perfect. Because it goes back to, like, if you have a list of things to do, and if you're trying to do those things on the list perfectly, it's not gonna happen. So if one doesn't go perfectly, you just kind of toss the list away, and it's like, no, it's better that it's done.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Wow,
Okay.
I gotta look him up.
Yeah. He does my audio engineering for a lot of the episodes in the studio.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on? Let the people know. Any Bible verses you want to leave them off with?
Oh, I'm always leaving Bible verses.
Drop them.
I think I probably left the last one. That's like one of my that was one of my favorites. So give me a second. I'm thinking.
Okay. And this morning was so beautiful too. That
Oh, we had like a devotion and we just kind of like read.
Yeah,
through.
we read the Bible, and I don't really be reading the Bible, and it kind of made me want to read the Bible more. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a cool book.
It is one of the best sellers, and it will of all times, and it always will be.
I see why.
Yeah.
Those stories are crazy too. Like, she be telling me stories about prostitutes, and I'm like, wait, this is in the Bible?
Yeah, definitely. Rahab.
What the heck?
Rahab was a prostitute.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean she stayed that way.
Yeah.
But, when she came to know certain things, and she came from the bloodline of Jesus, so it just kind of shows people that, look, like, if you feel like your family is completely broken and messed up, please know that families have been broken and messed up from the beginning of time, and it just shows how God redeems generations that turn to him. So that was pretty powerful.
Yeah.
But there is a verse, I cannot remember what it is, but it says, one second, it's coming to me. Sorry.
It's okay, Pastor Kirstie.
Oh, wow. I'm getting the Pastor Kirstie deaconess. What's going on? It says,
I made a little hole in the sand.
I didn't notice it. And I think that's what distracted me, right? Because I'm like, that's why I tell you, like, my brain is like that. So I'm like, I'm supposed to be thinking about a memory verse and not thing. Consider it. Okay, so back to the memory verse that you asked for. Consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kind. Because through the trying of your faith, you're going to be proved worthy. Right? So consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kind. And don't really quote me on that fully, but I know that I just kind of paraphrased it. And basically what it means is, when things happen that doesn't go your way, and when there's trials, tests, and other stuff, going back to what this show is about, know that when those things happen, they come to test your faith. Right? And when they come to test your faith, that's why it says consider it pure joy. So rather than looking at it as something, oh, this is something so terrible, this is something so bad, look at it as joy. Like, kind of say, yo, you know what, this came to hinder me, but I'm not going to let it hinder me. I'm going to push through. So I consider it pure joy.
Now
when I face trial of many kinds.
Now I know what doesn't work.
Now I know what doesn't work.
And I can cross that out and try it a new way now.
You can try it a new way now.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't grow and be perfect at the same time.
You can't.
So lean into your failure. I know it sounds crazy, but you should be happy, like she said, because now you know that there's so much more to learn. You're not a master, so enjoy the journey of it.
Definitely.
And done is better than perfect.
Done is better than perfect. That's a big one, DEJA. I think I'm literally gonna write that down and keep that with me.
Yeah, it's
that's
powerful.
that's gonna help me to get through a lot of stuff, because it's like you're working on something and you're like, oh my goodness, if I'm handing this in, my name is attached to it. So, you kind of have this mentality of, well, whatever I give in, it has to be well done. I think that's very big with our culture, specifically like our Jamaican background. Like, they strive for excellence. You getting whooped if you're not producing what you need to produce, or if you come home with something, whereas like kids will come home with a B or a pass.
My friends used to be so confused, because I'll be like, I got an 80, oh my god, and they'll be like, oh my god, I wish I got an 80, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I literally was like, no, anything 90 and below, I can't bring that home.
Yeah, and that is where it stems. That is where that perfectionist starts stemmed in us, because we start to feel like it is not good enough. We were not affirmed to say, okay, great job, good job, you did good.
No.
It's like, no, we are going with that.
Yeah.
What me send you to school for? I send you to school to come home with this.
Yep.
What me send you to tutoring for?
If it's not 100, they're not satisfied.
Oh, it's not satisfied, and it's like, that's not realistic. So
yeah, exactly.
I think that could
My
be,
thing is, let them take what we taken under the stress we got in this day and age and see how they come out.
Oh no, they would crumble, because back then they had that freedom and that opportunity. They didn't have as much distractions as we do today. They didn't have as much things competing for their attention.
Exactly.
And as harsh as they like to say their parents were on them back then, they had to keep them in line. They had to keep them in check. There's so much things right now fighting for attention. There's so much other additional labels right now. And so many other things popping up now compared to then. So
yeah,
I'm just grateful. I'm grateful we made it out.
Yeah.
And now we have to undo that programming.
We rose above the madness.
Yeah, rose above the madness. And on to the next generation now. What are we gonna do for that next generation?
Yeah, I'm not trying to feed them no more madness. So
yeah,
this is just beautiful what we're doing here. You know?
I think so too. It's just flowing too, like just the environment, the beach, the topics. This whole trip of you coming and visiting me, helping me get myself set up. There's a lot of things that I'm learning from yourself. You know, there's a lot of things that I started to browse through some of the videos. And I can't remember the guy's name, right? But he was speaking on a specific topic. And just to hear him, just to hear the way he just spoke so naturally about it, just to see him just share how he really feels, speak truths. I was like, wow, this podcasting it's a way of life, man. You're getting things out. Things are getting out there. Yeah. And even with things that are fighting for people's attention, I think with a podcast like yours, that is fighting for the right attention. You know what I mean? That is, you're filling
like you
your
won't
mind with
regret.
truth.
Yeah, you won't regret watching.
Yeah,
like you're always gonna learn something. You're always gonna have some type of just revelation in a way.
That's it. Because even sitting here right now, like there's so much things that I just learned about what we talk about. Different perspective, because obviously we're two different people. Yeah. We live in two different countries. So just to hear some of the things that you share about back in New York, some of the things that I share about over here in Cayman, it's really good when you have these conversations. And I think there's so much conversations on foolishness, right? Yeah. That anything
talk about, you get your ass ate. Like what? Like grown men in a room with other grown men talking about, you get your ass ate, bro.
Yeah, no, trust and believe me. So like, there's stuff out there. Yeah, there's stuff out there that's like, wow, people really sit and talk about this. Like, you can understand, like, you know, if they're at a bar or whatever the case may be. And,
they actually paid for studio time to talk about it.
They paid for studio time to talk about absolute rubbish. And it's like, I'm sorry, I prefer to plug myself into something that's going to edify me. So I definitely think, DEJA, what you're doing is super conscious.
It's a movement.
It's a movement, and I want to see more of that for Gen Zs. Yeah, I want to see more of them, because the label on them right now is not good, right? And they gotta break that stigma. So no, not all of us is out here doing foolishness.
Whatever, have no morals,
have no morals, no values, no nothing. Falling for anything. You know, we spoke about the man that builds his house on the rock versus the man that builds his house on the sand. Yeah. Right, and that's why I'm grateful for, is that you have that good foundation, and even now more so you're walking in that. And I look forward to other people that are gonna come on your show, and your light is gonna shine, and that's gonna open a door to bring them out of darkness. Yeah,
for real. I appreciate you. Look at the chickens behind us.
Oh, they're just like definitely like, we want to get seen in New York. We want to see them for a while.
They want to be.
They want to go viral.
They want to go viral real bad. But Thank you for reaching the end of another episode. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. Like, oh my God, you reached another episode. Like, oh my God, you really love yourself.
You do,
oh
you
my
do.
God, you believe in yourself. That is fire. Like, it looks good on you. You're glowing. Like, keep up the faith, you know? And yeah, thank you for listening. Tell a friend to tell a friend, mother. That is Mind Over Matter, baby. That was good.
It was.